the risk component is the most important variable in trading. If there's no risk, there is no money to be made. It's the evidence of life. People don't even understand how businesses are supposed to even operate. You are able to make money out of the business that you are in because of the risk component that comes with the business. And same comes with forex. Some of you don't understand how money works or the orientation of money. Money, for you to make money, there must be a risk component. Anything that doesn't defy the logic of risk is a scam. That's point number one. Okay? So, what you can control, you try to control. That's why you want to be as quantitative as much as possible so that you can reduce your risks and maximize on your profit. That is all that business is about. And it's not just in forex trading, in business, in trading, in cryptocurrency, in every single thing that you want to engage yourself with. You want to make sure that you are able to cap your risk and then you want to maximize on your returns. That is the logical flow of making money. So when people try to downplay the importance of risk, I ask myself, we don't even understand what making money is all about. We don't. Unless maybe some of you want to tell me that we want to engage in a scam, industry, then maybe we can totally isolate the conversation of risk. Risk should be the first topic. Risk should be the first financial education we give anybody, whether in business, finance, trading. Risk management is the most important, topic that needs to be pushed down your head, pushed down your throat, so that you're able to understand it and comprehend it by heart. Because at the end of the day, your first role as a trader is to preserve capital. That is the first mark. Capital preservation. Capital preservation. That is what will show you. Your ability to flip account doesn't show you are a trader. Listen, it doesn't show any your main goal. If I'm examining the portfolio of a trader, you started with around $10,000. At the end of 1 year, 2 years, if I'm seeing $15,000, I'll give you so much respect. Or even if I'm seeing $12,000, you've only made 20% at the end of maybe 3-4 years, I will still give you that respect. You know why? Because you did not blow an account. You were able to preserve the capital and you were also able to make a return, no matter how small it is. That is a much more rewarding feat. I know that at least if I give you $1 million, you are not going to blow my money for me. Investors, we need to have what we call risk averse. Risk aversion is when investors or the trader have a certain, serious, risk management, protocol in place. That they know very well that at the end of the day, I don't want to exceed beyond 10% drawdown of my account. I don't. That is serious, risk protocol. You must have that in mind. If you're a trader and you don't know your buffer zone when it comes to risk, excuse my language, you're a useless trader. If you're a trader and you don't know your buffer zone, that this is the worst case scenario for my risk, and you trade with your eyes closed like a blind man, then you're a fool. Sorry to say it bluntly. You are. No wise person will go into the market and close his eyes and say that I will let the market determine the risk that will slap me at the end of the day, week, month, or year. It means that you are not a serious trader. And if you're a trader too, you should follow the risks that you know very well the amount of risks you are exposed to per trade. The more you lose, the more you double down on the risk. The more you gain, the more you double up on your risk. We call it compounding on both sides. Compounding on the upside and then decompounding on the downside. You see, your mentors never told you this. So I'll give you an example. If you have a $100,000 account, you are risking 1% per trade. Let's say that give or take, your stop loss is 10 pips. You are risking one lot, okay, for that 1% on that $100,000 on Euro USD, for example. Now, when you are able to compound your account to maybe 10%, or you're able to realize a 10% return on your investment, what it means is that your starting lot of one lot would automatically, you can choose to do the compounding on every 1% gain on that $100,000. So, for example, when you are able to realize a $1,000 return, okay, on your investment, What you do is that you want to escalate. You now compound your lot, your starting lot of one lot to maybe 1 point something, right? 1 point maybe 0.1. I don't know. Yes, maybe 1.01 or so. And then you continue to escalate it. If there's anything like that, by the time you get to 10% on that 100,000, you are now trading 1.1 lots. That is what I mean by saying that you are compounding, you are actually escalating on that compounding variable that you've been exposed to. Hard fact. And then when you are losing money, you lose $10,000 out of that $100,000. You are left with only $90,000. Your starting lot to be what? 0.9 lots. That is how trading is supposed to be like. But we don't understand how these things work. Trading is a mathematical game. Trading is about statistics. It's about numbers. It's about your risk. It's about your worst case scenario. It's about your best case scenario. It is a mathematical game. Even professional gamblers, they know their numbers, Blaze. Talk to any professional gambler. Anywhere, they'll tell you. Any professional gambler, they know their numbers. They know that if I go to stake 100 times, I know I'm going to win X amount of times. Worst case scenario. We need to start understanding the numbers game in trading. So I don't really know, but there seems to be a lot that we need to talk about when it comes to trading. And for me, I can't imagine that stop loss cannot be part of the conversation when it comes to investments. In life, everything that you do, you must make sure that you exhaust the risk component of that investment thoroughly, so that you know when to walk out. When things are going out of hand, you know when to walk out. It's extremely important. At the end of the day, I always say that even the MetaTrader 4 or 5 platform has a lot of users. And we need to find means and ways to introduce that level of professionalism and sophistication. It's nothing so difficult. And you stated something quite emphatic right now. You said that we can even use that to even give us a very, very, detailed information about how our account is performing. Because on MetaTrader 4 or 5, you'll be able to see your profit factor, your Sharpe ratio, consecutive loss count, average consecutive wins, every single information, relative drawdown, equity balance drawdown. Look, the information is unbelievable. Right from your MetaTrader 4 or 5 platform, you are going to have all this information at your disposal. And honestly, none of the mentors are even talking about this. Not even one. Zilch. Everybody has his own interest. Nobody cares. Everything goes. No one puts any caveat on the curriculum. People just speak what they have to speak and teach what they have to teach, and nobody cares. At the end of the day, who sits down to do any sort of reconciliation to see that out of X amount of students that have mentored or taught, maybe 1, 2, 3 have become millionaires or have money? Why is it that it's only the mentors who are making money from forex trading? What of the people that they mentor? How about their mentees? Blaze, that is what confuses me. Their mentees, are they not also replicating the monies that they make from going for some of these mentorship programs from these guys? I'm confused. No, but for the mentees that purchase the program, they should be able to replicate the same success that the mentors, because they teach them strategy and not knowledge. So if it's strategy that you teach me, then it stands to reason that I should be able to also replicate the money that you make in the financial market, or it's not a legitimate claim to make. No, Kin Blaze. I sorry to cut, but I struggle for the purpose of having it, making it more, so that we can have a nice conversation. Is that why should a mentor, or let's say a mentor, form an unhealthy relationship with a broker, and then, as if that wasn't enough, tell their subs or their people or the people that they mentor, their mentees, to subscribe through a certain affiliate link to the broker that they are recommending? How that unhealthy relationship? I don't know what the purpose is. I'm confused. Why? Not at all. No, King. No, Ken, you haven't gone too far. Ken, you've gone too far. The guys on Wall Street, the guys that I meet them every single day. Yeah, I'm telling authority that yes. And you see, we are being guided by serious code of ethics. Serious code of ethics. Okay. If we want to go on the tangent of displaying our worth, trust me, your broke, your mentors cannot even compete to even one out of 100%. They can't compete. But you see, there is a way you conduct yourself, even as a professional. Modesty. Listen to the interview of the world of some of the most accomplished, hedge fund managers. Listen to their interviews. If you have the chance to listen to the interview of the late Jim Simon, you would understand what I'm trying to say. You would realize that there's certain modesty that comes with them. Where we preach humility and being modest, in the retail space where they don't have money, it is flamboyance and show off. They make it look like poverty is a curse. They flaunt the wealth under your nose, and then they actually mock your poverty. They mock your poverty. So it's like the exact opposite. When we are talking about risk management and the Sharpe ratio and the profit factor and all the necessary, let's say variables that we look at to establish how legit a trader is. In the retail space, it is flamboyance, how people show their wealth, how people are, flipping accounts and showing dead market. I mean, that is what you people are actually. So the opposite of what we do is what you guys are doing in the retail space, and that is what scares me. And that is what scares me at this point. There is no way I see that we are growing. It's getting worse by the day. A lady in South Africa, one of the forex influencers, went to actually stand by a gin wagon. I don't know if that video is trending. I think since yesterday or so. And she went to stand by a gin wagon, posing as if she just bought it. And then under the caption, "What 5 million rand can buy for you through forex trading?" 5 million rand. Can you imagine? And then the company has to come out and issued a disclaimer that the girl came and then just requested for a photo shoot. Can you imagine? And she's a well-known forex trader in South Africa. Such such an embarrassing situation. The cars that they even flaunt, do they even show you the ownership of the cars? The real estate that they are buying, do they even show you their ownership, that they own those properties? They take your monies and then they reinvest your money into real estate. They take your monies and reinvest your money into your transportation business. They take your money and invest in other businesses. I don't know of any serious financial advisor on Wall Street who has an edge, and that person would actually diversify his wealth into alternative sources. They would diversify into other asset classes, either crypto or forex or metals or anything of that sort. Because you know what we call smart money is the forex trading business, is the investment business. That is what we call smart money. You know what? Because if I have $1 million and I want to put that money into real estate, it's going to take me an average of 10 to 15 years to recover my investment, to even break even. So that business of real estate is not a suitable investment for me, because I have seen what the principle of making returns and compounding has on the effect of the money that I have. So that business model will not work for me. If I'm a good trader, it won't work for me. It won't. It won't work for you. So how come your forex mentors are investing in real estate? It doesn't make sense. This conversation we are having is a very, very technical conversation, but I pray that people understand what we are trying to say. It doesn't make sense. I pray that as the years go by, information dissemination would continue to escalate. People will start learning. And for me, there was one forex trader who was in Ghana, was around 2002 or thereabout. He's quite popular. I mean, he's a doctor who claims to trade. Some Ghanaians on the platform would know the person I'm talking about. And apparently, he gathered He gathered about 400 people in a conference hall and told them that he wants to teach them his ultimate strategy that will guarantee them profit, and charged $100 each from the 400 people who came for that conference. That is $40,000, right? At the end of the day, the strategy was flawed. They brought another gentleman from South Africa. I can mention his name because they've done a documentary about him. Chandel or Sheze. I don't know if you know him. Chandel, yes. He was one of the foremost forex traders in Africa. In fact, he's like the pioneer. A young guy, very, very articulate guy. Chandel. Chandel came to Ghana, I heard. Also charged $100 for a copy trading software. Copy trading signal, whatever, service. Also didn't. Also came to Ghana. It was hosted by the major TV networks in Ghana, TV3, Metro TV. It was all over the place. Can you imagine how gullible we are? At the end of the conference, he went back to South Africa and never brought the people's money back to them. Over almost tens of thousands of dollars. That money was gone. And now he's been charged for various accounts of fraud in South Africa. At the end of the day, your forex traders are looking for a Jesus Christ. And I always tell them the Jesus Christ doesn't exist in this forex game. There are two things involved. Either you are the one using or you are being used. Choose where you belong. I always say, but it's getting better. I believe it's getting better. The level of engagement I get from people like you and several others on this platform and other places encourages me that the message is actually, getting there. We'll keep pushing the narrative. We'll keep on advising. That is all that we can do. Beyond advice, please, there's nothing that we can do. As I said, I'm very, very happy that we are making that progress little by little. I pray that in some few years to come, the quality of the conversation will be elevated. As I said, the monies that we lose in Africa is the West. Or across all the continents. Africa, we are the poorest continent in the world, and we lose the most amount of money when it comes to we produce the most. Yes, we in Africa we produce the most unprofitable traders, and the problem has to do with the unrealistic seeds of expectation that these mentors have planted into the heads of some of these mentors. And sorry to break it to you guys, it's not all of us who can become traders. I keep on saying this, and I don't know why there's this point. Why is it that everybody says I mean everybody cannot be a trader? I mean, the earlier you understand this, the better for you. This is just common logic. I don't understand why this is so difficult for some of you to understand. Huh? All of you can become traders. Not all of you are born to be traders. Not all of us are born to become doctors. The same logic applies to forex trading. It's a profession. It's a profession. So when you look at it like, once this thing is doing it, I can also do it. Who told you? Huh? And the person that you even think is even making it, the person might even be lying to you, selling you false dreams and is pretending. Look, there's a company called iMarket Life. IML. I don't know if you remember them. They used to be in Nigeria, Ghana, and some of iMarket Life. Yes. You remember at that point in time, we keep on selling the message. It's not popular, I agree, but for me, I always say that our conscience will always be free. Trying to speak the truth and know deep down in our hearts that we are not sowing seeds of, of not being realistic to people. We have our conscience clean. At the end of the day, the truth is not popular. When Christ came to give the truth, when Christ came to give the gospel, okay, I mean, people didn't, it was unpopular. So it's the same thing in this forex space. If you want to be very, very truthful, it becomes a problem. So I for once, for me, I have a very, very big heart for Africa. I love Africa. I love my country. I just want to make sure that people find ways to protect themselves from some of these illusions. People are in prison today. People have died from forex trading. You know that, right? People have died. People have died. Yes, maybe perhaps we are not counting. We are not taking notice of the actual body count. But people have died through forex trading. Relationships have actually turned sour because of forex trading. Marriages have collapsed because of forex trading. I'm telling you the truth. People are in cells today because of forex trading. Yes. Look, this is the hard fact. This is the hard fact. One young lady in Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian, so sorry to be citing the Ghanaian example, but the fact is that one young lady was a student at one of the universities in Ghana, and apparently went for the mentorship program of one of these, popular, forex mentors in Ghana, and was so boosted up, like her confidence was boosted up. She did some demo accounts and realized that she's been profitable. This young lady went, she's a very, very strong Christian with a lot of respect and dignity. Like, they really, really, appreciate her for her good works in the church. Then through that, she started telling them that, you know what, I have this edge in the market. So I want to start, I'm trading the financial market. I'm going to give you guaranteed returns every single month. The young lady took in excess of more than almost $25,000 from the church members and started trading it. A young girl who is like 19 or 20 years old. Can you imagine? She's a female. She's a female. At the end of the day, the young lady actually blew the account, all right, because obviously she had no she had no basis on risk management. Exactly. It was zilch. Your forex traders, your mentors don't even know how to calculate lot size. They don't even know lot sizing. They don't even know how to use the ATR. Look, listen, your mentors, they need serious mentorship. Your mentors, they need serious mentorship. That's the truth I'm telling you. They need to, yes. Your mentors, they need mentorship of 2 years before they can even mentor some of you. I'll be very, very frank with you. I look at your mentorship space. Look, I look at mentorship space on TikTok. And look, I've engaged with some of them. I'm telling you very, very frankly. Majority of them, in fact, all of them, they need mentorship. Not even one. From head to toe, they all need mentorship. All of them. All of them. And at the end of the day, this young lady went ahead, realized that there's nothing she could do, wrote a letter, and the girl disappeared into oblivion. We don't know where the girl is. Several years now, we don't know where she is. She wrote a suicide letter, and that was the end of it. The girl disappeared into oblivion. No one knows where the girl is to date. You go to airport police station in Accra, and you see people locked up in cells because of forex trading. Do you know people? Do you know people actually sell their business to go into forex trading? People have lost their businesses. People sell their shops.